Morning. So I'm minding my business and, went to the doctor and, they took my ID and I don't trust them. They up to something, that secretary and the one next to her. And I come back and I notice, people's just hanging around my house. It wasn't my house, it was across the street, but I know when people's up to something. Every time I leave my house, her and her son is out there, or her daughter. So yesterday, that was the day before. So yesterday, I so happened to see the mail person come and drop mail, or whatever. And for the last couple of weeks, I didn't know when they come, because the schedule's been changing. Before it was regular, and now it's whenever they feel like it. So I saw the daughter hanging around my mailbox. She looking to see if I would come out, blah 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 blah. Soon as she saw that the mail person, came and put my thing in, she's coming out the gate, because this is what they do when they don't directly get the mail from the mail person. They sniff around your mailbox. You understand? And then they go steal, because I told you the last time I tried to open my mailbox and they changed my lock. Yeah, these people got a lot of nerves. So when she saw me come out, she acted like she was doing stuff or whatever. But they up to something, and that ID is up to something. So Con Edison notified me that my bill um, has gone up 400%. So I was complaining um, last summer that my bill is high and I wasn't using you know, my utilities, as much as I mean, everybody says that, but I'm telling you, the truth and everything. So I noticed my bills was going up high, and they was connected to my thing. So I did this little experiment. I took off the light, and I came back upstairs, and I went outside, and everybody was outside because it was hot outside. I did the little experiment. I went downstairs, and then I went upstairs, and I took off the power to my electricity in my whole house. And I came outside, by my door, pretending to look for something. All of them came outside and they looked my direction. They was looking my direction. They all sat outside. I kept it off for at least an hour. Then I went back and I put the lights back on. Everybody went back in. And I did it again. Just to see if I was imagining what I'm imagining. Now, y'all may laugh and giggle and stuff like that. And, because the cops is helping them. There's a cop, a so-called cop, a couple of doors down from me, and she just went in the house and trying to claim it as hers. She didn't pay for it or anything, and just like the rest of them on this block, and none of these people on this block can show you an electric bill, because they all connected either to my house or they connected to the pole. Now, I don't know about New York City, but if they want to have a whole block burnt down and they don't care, or that's a civil matter, and then you want to get sued or whatever, or you want people to lose their lives and stuff. I know you don't care about me, but every time there's a snowman thing, all these houses go dark. And then nobody checks to see if they even have a bill, and they kind of come put back on everybody's lights and whatever, because they all connected to the pole, or they connected to my house, because I'm the main house, and I'm the only one that has bills. All of them, all of them. You may think I'm lying. Check for yourself. So I don't know if they was trying to use the ID by trying to open up an account in my name and then transfer all the bills on my account, because I'm saying, how come my bill is so high? You understand? One of them even snuck in my house, and one did electricity and one did the boiler. I don't know how they do stuff like that. I'm not a plumber, so I don't know the extent of how you can use your neighbor's boiler to heat up your house. I know you got to run some kind of wires or whatever, because he did send his friend from National Gas over here pretending to be, a worker. Because every time I call National Gas or Con Ed, one of their friends show up. Always some Spanish guy or somebody. Always Spanish guys coming to my house. You understand? And so I'm being harassed. So I look to see in my boiler room. I'm like, how do they connect? How do they get heat? Because I myself didn't believe it. I'm like, how can you use somebody's boiler and stuff to get heat in your house, and your stuff is not even on? Because I took off my boiler. I don't use my boiler anymore. So somebody told me through the stove. But that's a lot of wiring. You need a lot of time for that. Most of the time I'm home, but then sometimes I have to go out. So like I said, when they come in front of you, to let the person know, keep that person there, because they need time to do certain things. So yesterday I went downstairs and I noticed something on the floor. Now, my basement is clean. I cleaned it myself, and then I asked my son the other day to mop it. I went downstairs yesterday, and I'm seeing stuff on the floor. Because I checked when my son cleaned it. I mean, it has a video when I asked my son to go sweep and mop it or whatever. Yeah, I noticed everything. And maybe they dropped it. Because it was something simple. But I'm like, because people be wondering how I know, because I don't know about most offices or whatever, but I notice almost everything. Almost everything. And maybe you think, she wouldn't notice, or maybe you dropped something, you didn't even know you dropped something. But I notice stuff like that. I know, I notice little idiosyncrasies. I notice little people's sneaky moves. Because when she asked me for my ID, I said, I hope you don't put a bill on my name, because they do that. They add an extra $25 here, $25 there. You understand? And then they tell you pay it in this account, or they have a little account set up. So these little sneaky moves. So if you're not aware of your surroundings, and you just take people's move for just regular stuff, that's what they want you to do. They want you to not see their movement, because it's so regular. Somebody asking you to skip them in the line, or you're going somewhere and you need to fill out new paperwork. One time I went to get a breast exam. I went to get my mammogram. This lady asking me all kind of personal business. When did you retire? When you do that? I'm like, bitch, why you need all that fucking information? Why you need to know what I'm collecting when I retire? Why you need to know that? All you need to know is, am I a smoker? Am I a drinker? Did I eat anything that day? Because I had my mammogram done before. But you all into my personal business. And I told her so. Oh, well, if you don't tell me all this, it's a new, and the same thing. It's a new form, it's new questionnaire you have to answer. And my supervisor just told me that I have to do it to you. I said, I don't mind answering questions pertaining to certain medical stuff because I know you have to make sure that maybe I shouldn't eat or rub cream on my skin or whatever, but what the hell you want to know about my retirement for? What the hell you want to know who, all that personal stuff. So she said, well, if you don't answer the question, you can't get your mammogram. I'm like, I'm not taking my mammogram because you have my insurance, you have my card, you have everything. And another thing, what they do is now all your personal business is supposed to be secret. They can have somebody right next to you pretending to be your client or their coworker. And they asking you the question where everybody can hear the answer. So you telling them the answer and somebody is jotting it down or tape recording you so they can think your business. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to be aware of these crooks. So I'm asking her, why are you asking me all these personal questions? First aloud, and people was right next to me. And then the kind of questions you asking me is not for the for medical thing. Because like I said, I took a mammogram before and all they asked me for my card. They gave me a questionnaire. Did you drink? Did you put cream on your skin? Blah, blah, blah. Are you suffering with so-and-so? This and that. Yeah, medical questions or where do you live? Your phone number? Stuff like that. And I filled out the form, gave it to them. But you asked me like I'm some big dummy. I may not be as smart as you think. I'm not the smartest or whatever, but I try to be aware of y'all crooks. And then I notify the authorities that the secretary up in the hospital where I'm at, I'm not going to say which one because you know who I am, is a crook, and the lady behind her is a crook. They trying to get my ID for something. That means that somebody around here is either trying to get something in my name or trying to change a check in my name. Or somebody they know. So this is what they do. They friends don't have insurance and they bill you for their friends. When you get your bill checked, they got you seeing 2 and 3 doctors in one day. And sometimes you don't pay attention or whatever and you see the bill, so you don't check the bill. But yeah, they'll bill you for their friend. Another thing, one of my bills went to my bank, and then my bank sent the bill sent me, oh, you got to pay this today because the thing didn't go through. I got money in the bank for $100. I got money in the bank. So that could either be a spam or somebody messing around with my account at the time when it, because this is an automatic payment every month. It's an automatic payment. So either at the time they was doing something with my account, so the check couldn't clear, the bill couldn't clear, or something. Because soon as I got that text from the company, I went to my bank account and I'm like, oh, I got money in the account. So what happened? So somebody is messing with my stuff again. So that's why I open my mouth and I say what I have to say so they can be caught. It's no street code here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to spill my guts. So when this whole block catch a fire because PD don't want to do nothing, or the electric company don't want to do nothing, or Department of Building don't want to do nothing because these people want to connect their wires onto other people's houses, or and the poles in the streets and stuff like that, and the whole neighborhood burns down. Don't say that I didn't give you a heads up. Don't say that I didn't give you a heads up. It's too bad for the people like me who do pay their bills or whatever, and other people's connecting. So you have a good laugh, but one day it's going to happen to you. Because if you look around the country, everybody's losing their jobs, everybody's losing their homes and stuff like that. So your neighbor may be out of work and connecting their wires to your electricity and your plumbing, and you get a enormous bill, and see how you like them apples. So have fun and laugh all you want to. And then you may have some property that you bought, you actually bought, and somebody squats in your house, and you paying all the bills for that house. So laugh about it, because the people who laugh about certain things, it's going to happen to them. You laugh when people lose their job because you set them up or whatever, then you're going to lose your job. Or the city going to come take your kids, or people's going to connect stuff on your house. Yeah, go ahead, laugh all about it. Laugh, have fun. But I'm just telling my story. And you would think that they would stop. I don't. I'll be in the house minding my business. It's only when I notice things that I report it. I don't go out there and cause trouble to nobody. I go to the doctor, come back home, get up, make my breakfast, come back in the room. For the last couple of weeks, I haven't seen the mail person, so I don't know when or if they put mail in there. So, you know, when I get notified a mail is in there, I try to go see if I have mail. Then I notice I don't be having mail. Then what they do is that when you're supposed to receive, special packages, they tell you that the machine can't x-ray the thing. So you can be getting a check, and they're not going to tell you, because maybe they don't want somebody to steal it, or maybe they trying to steal it. But yeah, they always sneaking around my property. They always sneaking around my mailbox. They pull my mailbox down, or all kinds of little tricks that these people do. I don't understand, how can a family just wake up in the morning and all they do is crime? All they do is crime. They make it look like they going out to work, but all they do is crime. They get up in the morning and start doing all kinds of nonsense. Dating mother, daughter, son, everybody in the goddamn house. Really? I tell you, I learned a lesson. I mean, I grew up. I had to go to school, get a job, and make a life for myself, and my other family. They had to do that. I'm not saying I don't have the, but everybody works. Everybody's trying to make a good living or whatever, because this is how we was raised. But some families, they just, and then you blame white people, and it's not white people's fault. It's your fault for staying like that. That's just an excuse for the Democrats to get their money, and all these, politicians. Ain't nobody holding you down. You holding yourself down.